G'day fellas, and welcome to another casted game. Spawning in over on the western side of the map, it is Cow P. I guess we could call him Cow P. Cow. I'm just gonna go with Cow. It seems, or Corp maybe? Maybe we'll go with Corp. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce this. He's gonna be playing on the Mongols, playing in the color blue as well. And this map, of course, is Lipany. Lipany, you will be familiar with the large plethora, the very plentiful berries that do spawn on this map. So each player having 5 separate spawns of berry patches. So very, very nice. And Cow P gonna be, I'm gonna go with Corp. All right, Corp. Corp is going to be able to take full advantage of this. We actually see the villager coming forward right now. I am very curious exactly what we're going to see with this villager, but something tells me we may have a potential tower rush coming out already for Corp at this stage. So we'll have to see how he goes to play it. Already got a scout out, so actually going a scout from the town center here and going to continue heading across the map. Very curious decision. We're now going to take a look over at his opponent, who spawns in the opposite side of the map, the southeast side. It is Neptune. Going to be playing the Chinese as per usual. We've casted quite a few games of Neptune on this in the pre-patch phase. Now we're moving on to this post-patch phase, and he's going to be going up against the Mongol player. Now keep in mind, Neptune at the moment is sitting at rank number 59. Corp is sitting at rank 60. So this is going to be a pretty balanced game, I would suspect. Villager is coming out looking for the gold, and now we've already got an outpost going to be coming down. So this is a super duper early. Now I know I don't want to say super duper too much. I probably need to stop saying it. You know what? If every time I say super duper in this game, you guys take a shot. It's going to be disgusting for you guys. I'm sure you're probably going to end up rolling on the floor, drunk, not laughing, by the end of the video. By the end of the video. But we actually see this is really, really smart from Corp. So able to drop this one down right outside his enemy's line of sight, and this is so smart from him. And a couple shots now going to be going off onto his Khan, and this Khan probably just going to be sitting in the outpost. Now keep in mind when it comes to the outpost, so it's got arrow slits, and that's an upgrade in age 2 that you get access to, and then you've got this outpost which has got a little bit less range, at least until arrow slits comes through. So I think the difference is 6 and 8. So these villagers here are going to go down because the Khan is going to jump in the outpost, and there you can see it's now going to start taking damage, and this outpost is now going to begin damaging or potentially threatening this mill itself. So we can actually see that Corp has dropped or has cancelled that outpost. So he has achieved what he wanted. And what he is looking for at this point in time is to interrupt the build order of Neptune. And he's doing a great job of it so far. We can see that Neptune has subsequently moved over to completely to wood at this point in time. And Corp really doing a great job now identifying the gold vein here as well. Going to be focusing that one down, and really it begs the question, you know, Mongol Tower Rush is absolutely disgusting. I love it. What is the best way to counter it? Because right here, you know, we now see that the outpost has come up for Corp. He was initially going for this one, but now we're at the point where, well, hold on a minute, Neptune could probably just move quite safely back here. You can see that he is sitting on wood, that there is a lot of villagers down here, so obviously not going to be down here forever. We'll check in with Neptune. You can actually see he's got plenty of resources in the bank. Not quite enough to age up. He did have 400 wood, or 400 food rather, for a second, but now going to be in a bit more of a difficult spot. Now, one of the things I would say that sort of counters this pretty effectively is just moving villagers away. So there's berry bushes down here that you can potentially go to. He's obviously got the mill that's back here. He's going to begin supervising this one shortly, I suspect. But now dropping down a barbican over on his gold mine. But keep in mind, even if you've got the barbican here, you're still going to be denied this gold from this outpost. So even though this barbican definitely makes a lot of sense, by the same token, it kind of hurts. So now we've actually got an outpost race happening. Looks like Neptune should be cancelling this outpost that's going up. There's no point in having this go up because he is going to kill the villager here. This will not go up. So he does drop that down. Going to burn this down. Actually, he should take 100. Oh, okay. Very fortunate. So almost took that one out. But very fortunately, it looked like Corp actually cancelled it in time. And I would say so far that there's been a lot of damage that's come in. at this stage, but Neptune has just adapted, and I do like that from him, so he hasn't panicked too much. He's just said, you know what, well, I can't gather up food because you've got an outpost here. I'm not going to be able to gather up gold because you're building an outpost there, so I guess I'll just go onto wood for the moment. So, look, if there's one thing that I want to point out so far in the early game, I would say it's about adapting, because you might have a plan on your game, and then all of a sudden, a spanner gets thrown into the works in the form of an outpost, and you're in a bit more of a difficult position. But you need to adapt, and that's exactly what he's done. And now you can see 10 villagers coming down towards stone. So he said, I'm going to actually adapt by doing a 2 town center boom. Now, this may have been his plan all along, but nonetheless, we can see that he has worked out a way to make this. Obviously, it's a delayed 2 town center boom. Obviously, you know, we look at the game time, it's 5 minutes 30, so it's not super duper. Oh, I said it. You guys got to take a drink. It's not quick. Oh, I almost said it again. It's not quick. Speaking of quick, he's playing the Mongols, but he's got the Delhi monument in his town center. That looks absolutely hilarious. So a lot of line of sight down here for his opponent. Corp is definitely going to be feeling pretty decent, actually going up with double deer stones, the silver tree, which is going to give him double traders. Now, apparently this has been changed in the most recent patch, so we'll have a look and see if we can spot how it's different. But this map, Libany, obviously the trading post spawns in the north corner of the map, so it becomes very efficient for him to actually be able to get that one out and about. Do we have anything left in the outpost? It doesn't look like it. So going to be moving this down towards his Uvu, looking to begin that big bad boy trader boom. By the same token, it looks like he's got a lot of resources stacked back up here. Now, keep in mind, going up with the silver tree going to reduce the cost rather of traders by 50%. And you got to start wondering at this point, who would you rather be? Would you rather be the 2 town center Chinese player, or would you rather be the Mongol player with double trader production here? You can see the cost of the traders now. So 74 wood, 36 gold, and then 112 stone for those double traders. And I gotta be honest with you, I would rather be the Mongol player. Double traders at this point, it's so damn good. He's going to be able to get 10 traders out very, very quickly. We can actually see towards the north of the map that Corp, his opponent, Neptune, does actually have a scout up there. But I'm curious to know whether Neptune's actually scouted this one out. It doesn't look like his scout has been around there, at least recently. But still, there's no way for us to know at the moment, unfortunately, with the way that replays work. So we're not going to know whether he's scouted out these traders yet, because if that is the case, I would expect Neptune to go into Horseman almost immediately and dropping that down. But look at what Neptune is doing. He's got 26 villagers right now on wood. So is he just thinking about going farms at the 7 minutes? Like, he has started the game off. He's realized, well, hold on, I can't take my berries because of arrow slits. I can't take my gold because of arrow slits. I'm going to start farming. And that's exactly what he does. He's got archers now coming out, archery range at the back, down towards the bottom of his base. And it's a difficult spot now for Neptune, I'll say that much. Double traders continuing to come out. Have they made their way back? It doesn't look like we've got any on their way back yet. This will be the first, so let's see how much they're going to have in them. 74 gold, not too bad at all. Now, what I would love to see after the last double traders has come out, so that is it right there, that is the last one, you're going to move this off into the corner. That is the ultimate play. And then you're going to keep moving your... Everything continues happening when you're doing it, but all you're going to do is just move your traders down to this corner, and you're going to wait for this to unpack. And then finally, when it unpacks, you're going to hand it in, and you're going to have a huge amount of more resources. So that is the best way to do it. Professional scouts now coming in for Corp as well. He is going absolutely ham when it comes to his economy. And look at this. How many scouts has he got down here? It looks like he's got 4 scouts and 3 scouts. I don't know. Oh, maybe they're counted differently when they've got deer on them, perhaps? Maybe that's the difference? I don't know exactly why that is. No, they're not, because then there would be 5 of one and 2 of the other, but we've got 3 and 4. Yeah, I have no idea what... Maybe one is from the town center, the other one is from the stable? Who knows? Who knows exactly what is happening there, but... We still see this amazing aggression coming out from him, and I gotta say, I really like this from the Mongol player. I think this is such a smart way to play, because on one hand, you're forcing your opponent into their base, you're forcing them to invest in farms this early, and at the same time, behind this, you're literally playing as greedy as possible. Obviously, you don't have a second town center, but to be honest, you don't really need one. You've got double trade economy coming out. You've also got professional scouts that have, brought in plenty of food for you. And behind this, you're going to be very easily able to go up to that castle age and look to begin transitioning into, whether it is lancers that you're after, whether it is men-at-arms, get some springalds out as well. So you've got heaps of potential options there for you. But take a look at this. Like, he's got complete coverage of his enemy's base. The only way that Neptune's going to be able to clear this is through using infantry to actually make a siege ram or a battering ram, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. So Neptune has had to invest in a blacksmith, he's had to invest in siege engineering, and then a further 300 wood in the battering ram, and then finally he's going to be able to clean these out or clear them out. But behind that, you've got his opponent, Corp, who is going to be thinking about going up to the third age. And that's really, how much time he's been able to buy with this. So very impressive from Corp to be able to do this, to be able to put on the hurt so fast to his opponent. 0.75 movement speed on these battering rams. They have been nerfed in the most recent patch and obviously go a lot slower now, which is very, very nice. You can see just how slow they go. Sometimes you can get, if you get the Hardened Khan together with the Yam network, they can really go super fast, but it looks like the Imperial official may go down here. I think I think he tried to get it in the town center and it did this little thing where it readjusts itself and it pauses basically. It's infuriating whenever you try and move a unit. Like if you've got a unit here and you're like, come over here, come over there, come over there, it will do this little pause and jig and then it will work its way back towards where you originally asked for. It's very frustrating to deal with, but it does look like Neptune is going to be able to push out here. But the question is, there's just been, the question is how much damage has actually been done here to the economy of Neptune when we just consider, look at the resources that are coming in right now. This is ridiculous. He's pulling in so many resources and this isn't even an optimal trade route. Now, it is a pretty good spot. Don't get me wrong. This is great, but he could have very easily moved this all the way to the back corner and he would have been a happy camper. So now going to be looking to transition. He's got a couple of horsemen and archers here, but I think he's just playing it safe just in case his enemy does think about pushing out, but already transitioning into farms. Now, this is a double-edged sword. It's good because he's got a safe food source. It's bad because it's the slowest food source in the game, and it costs 75 food every time you put one of these down. So we've already got 3, 6, 8 coming down here, and we've got 3, 6, and 9 coming down there. So at the moment, a total of 17, each one of these costing 75. Look, I'm not too good at math, but that is an awful lot of resources we're talking about there. That's close to, 1,400 resources that are just being invested into farms at this stage. And sure, you're going to need to put down farms eventually, but think about it from the perspective of the Mongol player. You imagine, what is 1,500 of wood to a Mongol player? Let me tell you, it is 10 pastures. Can you imagine putting 10 pastures down right now as the Mongol player? Absolutely ludicrous. And obviously, he's going to be able to continue bringing in the deer carcasses. Apologies for not getting that one out. Kurultai going to be his option here, and that is the correct play. So the best way to think about Mongols, and when you're deciding on whether you want to be doing a big boom like this. Oh, do we actually have it moving? We do indeed have the silver tree moving out. So the best way to think about this is if I've gone for a boom like this, a lot of my gold is just going to be coming from my traders. So I don't actually need to have a lot of gold gathering here. I'm surprised he's still got 5 villagers gathering up gold. It's just not needed. And subsequently, the step redout, it becomes pretty, I would say, useless when you're going with the silver tree. So now he's going to be moving that out, and we can see that throughout the map, you still do have these traders moving down towards this direction. Slowly, we've got Corp is being cleaned up on the back line. Now this is going to go down, and you're going to watch this absolutely just blow out 174 gold. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So you don't actually lose anything from doing that. It is super smart to be able to do that. So what did he do? It was sitting here. He waits for all of his traders to finish, whatever he wants to do. I think he's got 15 traders going. So I'm assuming that's pretty much reaching his maximum when it comes to... I'm not sure exactly. The Silk Road. I know it's called the Silk Road. I don't actually know how to look at it. Oh, hovering over here. Yeah, so he only needs 7, but I think he's just decided I'm going to get 15 out, and then I'm going to move it. So that's definitely the correct choice, moving that to the corner. So he doesn't actually lose anything from doing that. Rather, he just gains a lot of resources. So now we're going to watch him as he begins to build up a huge amount of units here. And this timing push that is going to be coming is going to be massive, because the Chinese player, sure, he's had 2 town centers. He's going up to the 3rd age. I don't think he's actually got a dynasty out just yet. It doesn't look like there's a dynasty out for him. But he is in a difficult spot. a lot of arrow slits coming up here now. Villagers coming out as well. Where's the ram? Where's the ram? Did the ram get taken out by the scouts? It must have. Plenty of villagers in here. 19 villagers. We'll tune back in with Neptune, see what he's up to. Scouts down here just being annoying. Going to be slowly sieging up this blacksmith. Taking over some of that raid bounty. There they go. So Neptune going to be handing over that raid bounty. And now more scouts moving in on the houses. Villagers, as well as those archers going to be coming out and looking to put on a little bit of hurt out towards these outposts. But I got to say, Corp doing a great job of just buying time. And it's so impressive from him to be able to do that. Because look, now there's more outposts up. He's putting more up and he's just buying time. He is so happy with this because, you know, the longer that his opponent Neptune is going to be doing this, and take a look at the scores. Take a look at the scores right here. This is the power of the Mongol trade boom. When it is untouched, this is what happens, and it's so hard to deal with this from the perspective of Neptune, who obviously is playing Chinese. Chinese are looking very good recently. They've become a lot stronger in the most recent patch just simply because of the dynasty changes for them. But subsequently, we see that Neptune is having a difficult time catching up to Corp at the moment and his score. We'll have a look how many. He's got 19 traders now coming out, so doing a great job with those traders. And you can see just the amount that they are bringing in. Actually, look at all these traders heading out in the one direction. They're going to sing a little song, it seems. 174 gold. It's just ludicrous. He's sitting on 2.4k gold right now. Absolute insanity for him. He's probably going to be hitting Imperial Age in the next minute or two. And keep in mind, he's got access to all this food safely underneath his town center. Throughout the map, he continues just putting down these outposts as well. This is where it starts to become like, I'm scratching my head right now, and I'm just thinking, okay, like, there's got to be a point where Neptune realizes, well, hold on, you don't have to kill these outposts. Sure, they're annoying, but like, I don't know, just get some scouts out, get some palace guards out. That's what it looks like he's going to be doing, getting the palace guards out. But and these guys are going to be able to make short work of it. And look, I think Neptune's still pretty happy. He's on 63 villages at the moment. Compare that over to his opponent, who's on 70. Surely, that's got to include like his. There's no way he's on 70 villages. He's 41. It's got to include like the traders as well. And even then, it doesn't really make sense. 41 villages. 20. Oh, then I guess it's pretty close, actually. I think they must have changed that. I think that does include all economic units now. So fishing boats, obviously it includes fishing boats. Okay, yes. Never mind. I'm ahead of myself. I'm getting confused with the end game screen. You guys know the little chart that comes up at the end. That one only includes villages. So doesn't include all the other economic units. So he's sitting on 72. Compare that over to his opponent. Neptune is sitting on 67. So you would think that that's pretty even when it comes to the economy. But to be honest, I don't think so. Just because of the way that traders work. And they essentially get a significant advantage the further away they are from the trading post. And that's exactly what is happening right here. You can just watch this gold come in for his opponent right now, Corp. He's going to be going up to 4k gold very, very soon. You can see all these traders coming in right now. This one's actually got no gold in it. You send this one back. What are you doing, Corp? Get this one back. He's decided, you know what? I don't need any gold. That one, that one probably needs to get a speaking to from the supervisor. All right, now Springald's going to be coming out for his opponent, and really you got to be asking the question, okay, what is Neptune able to do in this position to potentially outboom his opponent? And the truth is probably not a lot. I genuinely don't think there's any way to actually beat this. If the enemy is able to get to this stage, I think it's just way too strong. Now, obviously, there's other ways that you can go about it. You know, you could potentially look at hitting this with constant raids that would, you know, come in and hit it. But to be honest, in the position that he's in, it's going to be really difficult for Neptune to actually come from behind and spot that, know that he's doing that, because as far as I'm aware, he didn't actually scout that he went for the silver tree. So he's probably just thinking deer stones at this stage. So really demonstrating, you know, it's hard to be playing the Chinese if you are not scouting. Now we've got a lot of barracks coming out, so he is going for what I would consider to be the death combo. That's the Springalds, that's the Palace Guards, and I'm looking forward, and well, just look at this. Like, I really feel like at this point, like, Neptune has just got to, like, do the math in his head and be like, well, hold on a minute, why am I killing all these outposts? You know, what's the point? Because, like, look, it's ludicrous. Look at all the outposts that he's putting up around here. He is buying time. It is the ultimate bait. Like, at this point, I've got to say that Corp is pretty close to a master baiter at this point. Like, it is a masterful way that he's baiting his opponent. And look behind this. You know, Corp this is where he begins to build up his army. He's sitting here right now, 22 men-at-arms. He's got the 10 veteran archers. He's got just a single lancer. He's got a couple of Springalds. He's very happy, though. Like, sitting back here, he is able to be, you know, essentially not worrying at all. And now we've got the White Stupa coming up for Corp. and he's going to be having a great time as he begins to drop down more barracks. We see more infrastructure building up towards the front here as well. And so he's going to be able to get double production out of this. And once again, I mean, Corp has just got complete control of the map, and Neptune is really falling for this bait. So keep in mind, you know, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, well, my Mongol enemy is doing the same thing to me in a game, or if you're watching this, I want you to remember this point in time, okay? Because you might go up against Corp, or you might go up against something similar that tries to do a similar strategy. Focus, channel your energy, and realize you do not go over after these outposts. These are a distraction. He wants you to go after these. You should be coming in for the throat. Go for the, go for the jugular. And, it's come too late now for Neptune. I feel like the Imperial Age has been dropped down for Corp. He's going to be able to get all those upgrades through. We'll check exactly what he's got coming out. You can see he's sitting on 2.1k gold at the moment, still harassing his enemy, just being annoying. And this is exactly what he wants to do. He's just buying time. He is buying time right now. This is the ultimate masterful bait. And I really love it from Corp. It is just, if I was going to play Mongols, I would play it the exact same way that Corp is playing it right now. Doesn't look like he's getting any, it doesn't look like he's getting any upgrades at this point in time. Looks like he's actually going to be dropping down siege workshops. So instead opting to go for roller shutter triggers. That explains it. Is that improved roller shutter triggers? No, it's just roller shutter triggers. So looking to get that upgrade, but obviously we'll move into that eventually. And now more palace guards coming out onto the map. And just look at this from Corp. This is just ridiculous. I feel like at this point I'm just repeating myself because Neptune is running around in circles. He's sitting on 90 villagers at the moment. Corp sitting on 86. And I mean, who is the favorite at this point? I've probably got to go with Corp, definitely. Not only is he ahead about 3k score, he's in the Imperial Age. It's going to enable him to hit those Imperial upgrades, getting elite men-at-arms now, also going to be getting elite crossbowmen. So realizes that his enemy's army is predominantly Palace Guard. And if you're going for a Palace Guard army, well, crossbows are going to be very effective against it. Now you see that villager going to be going down. He's moving out with the outposts, looking to siege this one down. Losing another 70 wood. Now, keep in mind, for Corp, that his outposts are actually cheaper than every other civilizations. They only cost 70 wood. Compare that over to the Chinese outpost. If we were to take a look at one of these villages, he's going to have to pay the full price. It's 100 wood for those bad boys. So it is a very affordable loss that you've got out here for Corp. He's having a great time. Now Neptune really looking like he might be committing to a push here. I tell you what, I feel like I could have said that at least 10 times in this game. Look at the beautiful base from Neptune, though. Holy crap. Can we just... I just want to show you guys, like, this is going on the thumbnail right here. You are going to see this beautiful picture right here. This is absolutely awesome. I love it. Unfortunately, it's not really representative of the game though. But I mean, we could probably find something. How would you frame this? What do you guys think? Probably something like, trapped in your base or something like that. But now it looks like Neptune's going to be going up to the next age as well, dropping down a spirit way somewhere. We see it. There it is, coming down over near the gold mine. And both players just really playing so passively at this point. So Corp obviously being aggressive with his building placement, but at the same time, not really doing much in the way of attacking. Obviously, there was a little attack that came through, but he's just basically sitting at a point where he's like, I'm just going to wait until I'm at max population, then I might push in. I do like the playstyle, but at the same time, it is one of those things where if you've got a massive advantage, like he does, you can see that reflected in the score. It really begs the question as to whether you're just sort of... I guess he's playing safe. That's the way to think about it. But you got to think about it from the perspective of China as well. This is exactly where they want to be. We see Neptune has managed to close the gap. He's up to about 3k score difference at this point. China wants to fight you in Imperial Age. If they can fight you in Imperial Age, they can beat you. And the reason why is because of the Chinese bombards. So we may potentially see those Chinese bombards come out. And if we do, Palace Guards are going to be very effective at dealing with the men-at-arms. The bombards are going to be effective at dealing with the Springalds. Villagers come out to heal them. And Neptune, you got to think about it from the Chinese player's perspective. That is what he loves. He wants that. He wants to fight you in the Imperial Age. You are playing a dangerous game going up to the Imperial Age against China and not doing a timing push. Because if that pyrotechnics does come out, if you are potentially looking at that, then you're going to be in a tough position because sure, you're going to have a lot of production, you're going to have a lot of resources as well there. You've got a greater score, but at the end of the day, you've only got 200 population that you can play with. And if China's sitting on 200 population with you, but they've got bombards, Chinese bombards, which are, as you guys know, the best bombards in the game by far, well, then you might have a little bit of a problem. So we'll have to see exactly how this unfolds as both players have decided that going up to Imperial is the name of the game here. Both playing very passively. A little bit of scouting coming out. Elite Men-at-Arms getting scouted out there as well. We'll check in on the upgrades that are coming through. We've got Elite Palace Guards coming through as well as Battle Hardened, which is going to give them an extra 30 HP, which is going to make up for the fact that they do have lower armor. Now towards the base of his opponent, Corp, going to be defending, or doing his best to defend another sacred site down here towards the south, which has been captured, and Neptune doing a great job of just neutralizing that for the moment. No elite crossbowmen coming in just yet. We'll have another look. He's only got the 2 archery rangers, so not super committed at this stage to it. I would love to see some bombards coming out from him at this point, though. Now moving towards the middle of the map, have we got a university? No university at this stage, no +2s, let alone +3s coming out just yet for Neptune. We'll check in on his opponent and see what kind of upgrades he's got. So we've got, let's have a look. We've only got the blacksmith that's out. Obviously, they don't have access to a university here. But no elite army tactics, which has been buffed to 20%. So you want to be getting that. Do not forget that. That is really, really strong. But +3s not coming through just yet. No +2, no decarbonization on the melee attacks just yet either. But I'm starting to get worried about Corp's position because, sure, he got this massive boom going in the early game, but at the same time, he didn't really do anything with it because Neptune dropped down all these farms. You know, he was basically playing SimCity here for 20 minutes. And now I'm a little bit worried for him because Neptune has managed to even things up. If we take a look at Neptune's perspective, he's sitting on max population. He's sitting on at least, 3,000, 4,000 resources in the bank. And that big lead that once existed for Corp is now gone completely because he's just bided his time a little bit too long. Bombard going to be coming out. Mangonel shots coming in as well. Going to be able to put a little bit of damage onto these men-at-arms or rather palace guards, but not able to really push him back. And keep in mind, once we get up towards the Imperial Age, with these larger unit compositions, with more HP, more upgrades, all that stuff, Mangonels are going to be a lot less effective. And now Springle's on the back line, looking to do their best to come in. You guys hear all that sound in the background. That is units that are slowly getting produced and reinforced here. China looking very strong as the men-at-arms get in on top of the siege. Going to be able to take out that first Mangonel. It does go down. Springle's here doing their best to try and hold on. Crossbows in the mix as well. Bombards coming out now for the Mongol player, and Springle's on the back line for the Chinese player. Neptune are looking to try and take out that siege. You can see them focusing down all of the enemy units here, trying to slowly move this out, and we see those reinforcements coming in. 2 bombard shots on this Springald, and it does manage to survive with 20 HP left. So he is doing his best to try and keep these alive at this point, but now going to be moving forward with a couple more bombards, and it does look like the Mongol player is able to hold from this point. But now towards the base of the Chinese player, we've got ourselves a little bit of a ram raid. A little bit of a ram raid. There's a couple of men-at-arms that have gotten loose. He's only going for the Spirit Way, so I wouldn't be too fussed. It's only a Spirit Way. What's it going to do? It's not like it's an actual useful landmark like the White Stupa. No. It's completely useless. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's probably some niche situations that it can work. Maybe with like fire lances or maybe now that the Chokanu has been buffed, it might be decent there. But let's be honest, it's not particularly strong. So now we've got more palace guards coming out. Hand cannoneers in the back as well. He needs to do his best to try and get more units out here. And we can see Neptune really struggling when it comes to gold. He has got a lot of villagers on this gold mine right now. 45 villagers just casually on the single gold mine, trying their best. And you've even got them doubled up there, trying to get through it. It looks like the villagers are going to be able to take down the battering rams before they get to the astronomical clock tower. There is another battering ram down here. But one question that you've got to be asking is, why has he not looked to secure up the larger gold veins yet? There are 2 of them up here towards the north, and his opponent is not really going to be going for them. You've got to keep that in mind. His opponent at this stage is primarily going to be focusing on getting his gold through this all-important trading network. And I just said all-important again, so you guys are going to have to take another drink. Was it all-important or super-duper? I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I've got like a couple of, I don't know what I'd call them, like tropes or things that I just say when my brain is trying to work out exactly what it wants to say. I just throw those in as random words to keep you guys company for a little bit. But speaking of keeping yourself company, I've got something to drink. Give me a second, because this game is now moving towards the 30-minute mark, and it is getting on. Let us say that much. I'm just going to take a quick sip. He's got to be careful here, Neptune. A couple villagers going down to these crossbows. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. And for anybody wondering, it is, of course, the one, the only, the Red Bull that is coming in hot. It's actually coming in refrigerated. But now the palace guards are moving forward. They've got that additional speed. Neptune, at the moment, I don't know what dynasty he sits in, but I don't think... Yeah, it's definitely not the second dynasty that he's got access to. So actually, I think he's still sitting in the very first dynasty of the game, which is like, scout line of sight increase. It's not very good, let's just say that much. Bombard's now going to be going down. Loses 2 Bombards. Going to be losing a 3rd Bombard. Actually trying his best to pick off a 4th Bombard here as well. The Palace Guards are very, very effective when they get into this sort of situation because they're able to get in on top of the Bombards of their enemy. They don't have any sort of charge ability. They don't need it. They're just very, very quick. So this is one of the few niche circumstances that they're actually more effective than their men-at-arms counterpart. Springald's on the backline doing a great job here. I really want to see Neptune begin to transition into Bombards, but he's not doing it. He's really just committing at this point to Springald's and Springald's only. So doing a really decent job. He's got 12 range on these bad boys, and they are trying their best. He's really just going. He's hammering it home. No Bombards coming out for him at this point. A single Palace Guard looking to just try and maintain control of each of these sacred sites. He's going to have to hold position if he wants to keep that one on there. His enemy is currently going for a sacred site victory, but obviously just he prefers instead to just have the that gold trickle coming in for him. We'll now take a look over at his opponent's perspective. He's currently sitting on 7k gold right now, so, you know, not too bad, but we talked about this earlier. Production. He does not have enough production. He's sitting on 155 military population right now, and this is what I got scared for him for, because the Chinese player, this is where their strength lies. The Chinese player's late game, because China knows the late game. Every single China player sits there, and they've got their eyes focused. They want to get to that Imperial Age because they've done it before. They are a Chinese player. That's what they do. That is, you know, when you go and you fight against a crocodile in a swamp, you are fighting in their territory. You're coming into their land and you're fighting them in their domain. The Imperial Age is the Chinese player's domain, and it's so important that you don't try and fight them there because they will overwhelm you. And that's exactly what we see happening right now. Corp sitting on 150 population despite having so many resources in the bank. Chinese player at 182 population right now and absolutely cleaning up his opponent. This is really absolute insanity, and this is exactly what I expected if the game went this late, and it's exactly what is happening. The Chinese players got so much more experience in the late game, so much more comfort here. This is exactly what they want. This is, as I mentioned, this is their domain. Bombard slowly getting healed up by the Kurultai. It is going to go down, though, and really, at this point, Neptune looking incredibly strong. We'll take a look at his perspective. There's obviously raids going around all around the base of Neptune. He's still sitting on 111 villages. He needs to get some walls up stat, whether we see some stone walls down here. I think that's probably going to be the best course of action. Stone wall up everywhere you can, my friend. And now, finally, it looks like Corp is somehow managing to hold on and push out. We've got a lot of Bombards in here. Is he making double Bombards or something? It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think so, but yes, it wouldn't surprise me though. Neutralizing sacred sites. Looks like 2 of them have gone down at this point. We'll check in on Neptune as he still is under attack from multiple angles here. Corp really doing his best to try and take the majority of Neptune's economy out, but not really having a lot of luck. 112 villages at this point. And look at all the production here from Neptune. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is where the China player's strength is. It's in this late game macro. He needs to pick up precision crossbreeding at this point in time. He does obviously have a lot of resources in the bank right now. He's been doing a lot of work up here, and I suspect that his enemy may potentially be moving up towards this direction if he's not careful. 7 Bombards. Yeah, just casually, 7 Bombards. He could look to go for Fire Lancers here. Fire Lancers would be very effective against this. One of the few Dynasty units that is actually quite decent, even into the late game, just because of the amount of siege that happens. So, for anybody wondering about the Fire Lancer, so it's available if you can hit a Dynasty. I can't remember the name of the Dynasty, but essentially you want to make your Astronomical Clock Tower, and you also want to make the Imperial Palace, I believe it's called. So, not the Imperial Academy, the Imperial Palace. It does look like he has picked up both upgrades. He's picked up the drop-off upgrade for the villagers, as well as the men-at-arm or palace guard upgrade for their extra HP. So, yeah, essentially, you want to be going for... I don't remember what I was talking about just before, but anyway, oh yeah, Fire Lancers. So Fire Lancers are one of the few units that actually has a lot more siege damage than its counterparts. So we've talked about this before. The Scout, the Knight, the Horsemen have all got the same amount of siege damage, but the Fire Lancer is different because it actually has more siege damage than its opponents. Now Corp actually looking to push in against the Chinese base. I'm starting to get a little bit worried. Despite having such a low military population amount, it looks like Corp actually is pushing in and doing a potential bit of damage here. Springald's on the backline for Neptune. It looks like he's getting a bit distracted up towards the north. Has he lost villages here? No, he's managed to pull those away. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank, so he should be fine for the meantime. The main difference is... you know, for Neptune, I really feel like he could have just won this game if he just simply went for Clock Tower Bombards and Pyrotechnics. It literally would have won him the game. I don't think there's anything that Mongols can do against that other than mass scouts or mass horsemen. It is really the only counter to it for them. And obviously with these palace guards out, you're going to be able to protect. You're going to be able to screen for them. Neptune sitting at max population at the moment. His opponent down 40 population at this point. No ability to drop a castle. Look at, and you can just see the difference right now. And this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, you're coming into the Chinese player's domain. If we take a quick look at the production here, he's only got 7-8 production buildings with 5 siege workshops. I mean, you know, give him the benefit of the doubt. We're talking 8 plus 5. All right, let's go have a look at the Chinese player and see how many they've got. He's got 12 barrackses. Just 12 barrackses. He is making units out the wazoo right now. So he's doing incredibly well. Obviously, of course, he can also be supervising, which is exactly what he is doing here. So he's got plenty of units that he's potentially thinking about. Looks like the Uvu getting moved up here towards the front as well. And once again, looking to neutralize the sacred sites. And now Neptune in a bit of a difficult spot, I would say, because there's a flank that is open for him. You guys will see it. Is that a mangonel? That's a mangonel coming out. You know how you can tell it's a mangonel? It's got a big spoon on the top. That's the difference. They're also a little bit different in their color. But one thing to note, okay, the mangonels do not scale. 15 damage. That is it. 15 damage per attack. So you're looking at 45 damage. Now, think about that in the early game. 45 damage is a lot of damage, okay, to palace guards. But we're in the late game now. We're talking about 252 HP on these palace guards. That is a lot of health. You're not going to be able to be anywhere near as effective. And now coming straight in for the production, Neptune looking to actually clean this up. You see the Springolds up towards the north. It looks like a little bit of a charge coming out. He's going to have reinforcements coming right towards him. He's backing out. Neptune realizes, hold on a minute, I may potentially have him here. All of the Springolds looking to get their shots on their opponents. 1.2 speed, and now that those palace guards are coming in, looking to get in on top. We see all those reinforcements going to be coming out super fast here. Does he have that upgrade from the blacksmith? He doesn't have military academy at this point. That would be making them train extra fast, but it doesn't even matter at this point. We see, look at the bombard moving away at lightning speed there, and it actually looks like Corp is going to be able to hold on here. So the main issue that we've got right now is that Neptune is just still making Springolds. He should be making bombards. Bombards are really what are going to be taking him to that next level, but look at the military forces here from his opponent. The bombards are just so strong. Keep in mind they are the same population. Bombards and Springolds are the same population cost. We've got Springolds at 3 pop. We've got bombards at 3 pop. They are at the exact same population. You can see how less effective those Springolds are. So Neptune actually coming in, rolling with the crocodile here. He thought he himself was the crocodile, but it turned out he was the human, and it looks like he's entering into a death roll because he is slowly losing out. Just when we thought the Chinese player was in his domain, was happy, it turns out that he forgot to make bombards, forgot to get pyrotechnics, and now it looks like he's been overwhelmed completely. Neptune now pulling villagers at this late point in the game. We're at 37 minutes in. He's got 48 villagers out here looking to mine up this stone. It's going to take him a while, I'll say that much, and probably looking to drop down a castle, but keep in mind, there's that castle, just as we suspected, but there's a bombard that's right here. So this castle is just, you know, it's going to go up, but it'll go down straight away as well. Now all of these units here on the back line. Really, this was a tough spot for Neptune. He had an opening where he could have really punished his opponent, but unfortunately it looks like Corp is actually going to be able to hold on here, somehow manage to leverage the fact that he had the greater economy for so damn long, and still Neptune tried his best. Now the score beginning to build, and I think that might be a good game getting called any second now, because that castle's gone down. Neptune in a difficult spot. He's trying his best to hold on. Still no bombards. Now, obviously, he's out of gold. But once again, it really comes down to sort of that planning in the late game. He needed to have castles up here. It's so important you get a castle up on these big gold mines here. Secure these up so that you've got a guaranteed gold source in the late game. So Neptune definitely, you know, his early game is amazing, immaculate. Late game still needs a bit of work on it. I'll say that much. But still going to be trying his best to hold on here. Bombard's going to be coming in, looking to seal the deal. 4 bombards, 5 bombards now coming out. And you can see them, how well they're picking off these clock tower Springolds. So bombards are getting healed up by the Kurultai ever so slowly. Enemy is approaching Sacred Victory. So 3 minutes to go, and I think he's just called GG. He said, you know what, I've had enough. Very well played from Corp. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this casted game and demonstrating that China isn't the king it needs to be in the late game, at least not always. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.